All right, fellas. In typical FSE fashion, we were having a spirited debate behind the scenes because
it's so on brand too.
It's so on brand. So first off, the debate we were having was, what do we do with Luther Burden now? Because Luther Burden just came off of a career best 100 plus receiving yards, did get carted off at the end of the game, but it sounds like he should be okay. The timeline was ablaze with Luther Burden takes today. Ranging from Luther Burden's top 24 Dynasty wide receiver, which I think is very reasonable. Saw some lukewarm takes like that. But I saw some people saying they'd take him over CeeDee Lamb and redraft next year. Like there was some obscenely wild takes about Luther Burden on the timeline today. So I guess we're just having the conversation here. What is Luther Burden? Is he, Lad McConkey, Brian Thomas caliber from last season? Or is he more so in the range of like what we thought of? I don't want to say Xavier Worthy, but like that ADP level of what we thought of Xavier Worthy coming into this season as a second-year player going into next year.
I think you got to take the context of what he's done since he's gotten the snaps. And since he's gotten the snaps again, overall on the year, you look at it, over 2.5 yards per route run, literally top 3 in the NFL, only behind JSN and Puka. You look at the historical comps, rookie year-wise, in terms of yards per route run, he's up there with some of the best receivers ever. Like, I get it. Contextually speaking, it's a small sample size, and I understand you don't want to extrapolate small sample size to a severe degree. But at the same time, man, you watch Chicago Bears football, and you watch number 10, the way he moves in the open field, the way he creates easy separation, the ball skills. Like, this is what the stars look like. And honestly, I'm really curious where the ADP ends up lying. I think I'd be willing to, pending what happens in Chicago, top 3, top 4 round type of pick. I really do.
Yeah, and I think that's where the best ball ADP is probably going to settle in, is somewhere in that. Like, let's say DJ Moore goes to a different team as well. I think that's only going to fuel it even more. I updated my Dynasty rankings today, front to back, start to finish, super flex, top 250. I ripped through them all. And I settled in with Luther Burden at wide receiver 21. And the guys that he's immediately ahead of and behind, I have him Chris Olave, Brian Thomas, Travis Hunter, Marvin Harrison immediately ahead of him. Behind him, I have T. Higgins, Zay Flowers, Jameson Williams, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle types. To me, that feels about like a good sweet spot, baking in, like you said, what the guy truly looks like on the field right now. He looks great. He was a great prospect, specifically as a sophomore. There's a lot to be excited about with Luther Burden. Especially if he is going to have like a 3rd, 4th round best ball ADP next year. I think you got to factor that in, that a 22-year-old wide receiver with that high of an ADP is, really an Apollo rocket on the open market as far as what you could get for him in a trade. Like his trade value in a matter of a calendar month. Like we did a video about a month ago, Danny, talking about, redrafting the class and what's the rookie report and all this kind of stuff. We said, hey, Luther Burden, I would say he's probably about maintained value. You took him at the end of the 1st round, early 2nd round. I think at the time, that's about what he was worth. You're going to pay probably upwards of the 105 probably in 2026 rookie picks to go out and trade for a player like this.
I do think you're being a little lukewarm on Burden. You have Marv over him?
I do, one spot ahead of him. I'm still very much a believer in Marvin Harrison. I think had he not had the appendectomy and all this other stuff, I think we'd be talking about a vastly different second season than what he's produced.
Different gravy with what we've seen, respectfully. I think Marv is a prospect. Oh, yeah, sure. Burden's shown more in the last few weeks than Marv has throughout his career.
I think that's a fair criticism of Marvin Harrison. I guess I'm still factoring in what he was as a prospect, the fact that he did need some time to develop as a technician, and the fact, too, that I have seen quite a bit of growth from Marvin Harrison this year. It's been derailed by this whole Michael Wilson breakout and the fact that he was dealing with the appendectomy and stuff. Again, yeah, if you want to say the QB situation is a tiebreaker, again, they're 20 and 21 in my wide receiver rankings in Dynasty. That is I'm not going to argue with anybody that says they would rather have Luther Burden. That is a very reasonable take. I just personally still believe that Marvin Harrison can be a truly elite top 12 fantasy wide receiver.
Conversation I'm having with Burden is more so like Pickens, Rice, McMillan.
Yeah, like I taking a 4-week sample size reasonably and extrapolating that to those type of players, I just don't think is responsible.
This is the type of prospect I thought he was. I thought if it hit, you would know immediately because he'd be flashing elite level talent as soon as he figured it out. And that's exactly what he's done. I wanted to say after his sophomore year, you were looking at the next Malik Neighbors. You're looking at the next Jamar Chase. Yeah, sure, you have that bad junior season in there, but we both acknowledge that there was volatility as the prospect. And if he figured it out, you would know what it looked like because it would be jumping off of the screen. I think it's jumping off the screen.
You would know what it looked like. I just think that wide receiver 21's baking in a little bit more so that it is a small sample size. I think if you wanted to say, if you're really high on him, his ceiling is upwards of that range, like you just talked about, the receivers that you named, fair. I just think that's not baking in any downside risk whatsoever, which is a rankings philosophical thing that you and I have gone back and forth on a million different times about a million different players.
He goes top 6 in a redraft of the class.
He does not. No,
he does.
I don't think so.
He does. Who goes 6?
Okay, so if I go to our rankings tab on Flock Fantasy right now and I sort by rookies.
Yep.
By current expert rank, again, I don't know how many people have updated their rankings as of late. By current expert rank, Ashton Genty, Tedero McMillan, Marion Hampton, Jackson Dart, Emeka Egbuka, Trevion Henderson,
Egbuka,
Tyler
ridiculous.
Warren, Quinshon Judkins, Travis Hunter all rank ahead of him.
Egbuka,
so he is
ridiculous at this point, by the way. You cannot take Egbuka over Burden.
Well, Egbuka was a better prospect and had more points per game as a rookie, so I don't think it's ridiculous.
They were exact same grade for me.
Okay, well, by the prospect model, he was a better prospect, is what I'm saying.
Sure. Warren over him, ridiculous in my opinion.
I disagree. I think Warren
Judkins over him, ridiculous in my opinion.
Who?
Judkins over him, ridiculous.
Yeah, Judkins with the injury again. I think that's definitely fair if you want to. I actually have him over Judkins. It's just that the experts don't. I'm assuming they haven't updated. Everyone hasn't updated since.
I'm still updating mine too. But
shouldn't that tell you something though? A little bit.
What?
It was cut and dry that he was well after guys like that before, and now all of a sudden he's way above those guys. Like, to me, I think that's a little reactive.
But to me, I ranked him there. Honestly, inverse to you. You're hedging right now. I was hedging my ranking before. Now that I've seen it, I'm willing to buy in on the fact that this is a star level wide receiver, and we are looking at legitimate 1,300 yard upside in year 2.
I think we're looking at that with Egbuka though as well. So that would be my only pushback on Egbuka is that, and also I know it's a stupid tiebreaker, but Egbuka is going to put the work in to get better, and I'm not sure Burden will.
See, Egbuka's been dog shit though.
Burden
was never dog shit.
No, Egbuka has not been good, but if you recall, all of that started when he rushed himself back from a hamstring injury.
Sure, but the same time, Burden's bad this year is not getting snaps. There's never once when he's been on the field and you thought, oh my God, that looks like a dog shit player. Egbuka looks like a dog shit player.
You're right. But as much as we can talk about yards per route run and all this kind of stuff, do you know what the most predictive sign of rookie fantasy performance in second year is? It's their overall fantasy points per game as a rookie.
I get that. It's one thing if he's like, oh yeah, Burden this year, he was top 20 in yards per run. That's really good as a rookie. He was number fucking 3. He was only behind JSN and fucking Puka, man. I understand small sample size.
And I don't think you do though, Danny, because you keep saying you're factoring it in, but it doesn't feel like you are.
Let me finish. I understand small sample size, but when the sample is freaking number 3 in the NFL in yards per route run, again, snaps.
That helps when you're on the field 30% of the time, Danny.
Sure. I also think this is a factor too when you're on the field 30% of the time. When you're only getting gadget work, it's one thing. He's allowed to play full wide receiver now, and look what you're getting.
This was also a game environment where DJ Moore and Zacchaeus were sick. Why? Maybe that's why he got the routes that he got. Again, maybe that's the Wally Pipp situation where you're on the field now.
And I disagree with this because you said Burden had a shit start. Burden didn't have a shit start. He didn't get on the field to start.
But that is a shit start for a rookie, dude. Matthew Golden is doing the same thing right now. Can't get on the field. Though.
Yeah, and when Matthew Golden's been on the field, he hasn't made plays. There was never once where Burden was on the field and you were thinking, oh yeah, this guy just looks completely overwhelmed. He just wasn't getting the snaps. Now, obviously, that's a separate topic, but he's getting the snaps now. And dude, this is a fucking star.
Why do you think I have him wide receiver 21 in Dynasty? To me, that is very bullish on what his rookie season. 8.9 fantasy points per game out of a rookie. To rank him wide receiver 21 after his rookie season is quite bullish, in my opinion.
I get it. There's certain pieces of context that are needed in certain situations, and this is one of them, man.
It just feels like you want to be higher on the guy than everyone else.
No,
that's what it feels like to me.
I was already high on him to begin with, and I was hedging until it happened, and now it looks like he's happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's look good. Picked up Bird in my home league. Danny's, dude, I'm telling you,
He's
man.
a sick player, man. And
Watching that
everything
guy
you're
play
saying is
football.
correct. Everything you're saying he's capable of is
Yo.
correct. I just think you are not factoring in at all that he was virtually useless until 3 weeks ago.
I get that. So, Corey, the difference between him and Ted. I love Ted. I think Ted can be even Drake London. Burden's got like Jamar Chase, Malik Neighbors in the range of outcomes. And we both thought that as a prospect.
Well, if we talk about the semantics of the offense for a second, taking aside Luther Burden's talent, I think that Rome is a top 20 NFL wide receiver, and this offense will be run heavy for the majority of Ben Johnson's tenure.
No, that's definitely fair.
I think this is Sophie's choice for Danny right here.
I love Travis Hunter. He's at wide receiver 14. I got Burden at 12 right now.
Yeah. That's again, it feels like you're just trying to be higher on Burden than everyone else. That's what it feels like to me. But
like, I think for what it's worth, I think Rome could be a good receiver. Like he could be T. Higgins. It's just like the skill set after the catch, the ability to separate, the ability at the catch point.
Stylistically, that's not his game though. Yards after catch.
Burden?
No. Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about Odunze not being good in those areas is what I thought you were referring to.
I didn't say outlook. I said like if he hit his top end, I can see it looking
right. But
like
if he hit his top end, is still baked into my wide receiver 21 price tag. You're like with wide receiver 12, he better hit his top 12. Dude. Like it's the same argument that I have about taking Brock Bowers in like round 1. Is that it's like he better be the fucking best tight end in fantasy.
To be fair, Jacob, a lot of that is also rooted with what I thought of him as a prospect too. Like the explosiveness that he brought as a prospect. I dinged him in certain areas because I thought it wasn't as refined. I think we are now seeing the refined version of what got me so excited about him and had him as wide receiver 3 in the class.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I mean, if Rome was better in contested situations this year, like he had been as a rookie, like he was 13 of 18 in contested situations as a rookie, I think that year 2 of Ben Johnson's offense, Caleb's going to take a step.
I agree.
Odunze is going to take a step. Obviously, Burden's going to take a step and all that kind of stuff. I just think that Odunze, like vastly superior prospect in my opinion when I was grading the two of them, and Odunze as well. At one point this year, we thought this was a legitimate top 5 dynasty receiver. You know what I mean? Cool. Like that's where we have a larger sample size of Rome being that good than we do of Burden being that good. And one was the top 10 pick I don't think and a better prospect.
You said that good. Rome has never been this good.
Did you or did you not have Rome Odunze ranked as a top 8 dynasty wide receiver?
I had him as a top 12, top 8 to 12 dynasty wide receiver. Absolutely. I was very high on Rome Odunze. What we are seeing from Luther Burden right now has been better than anything we have seen from Odunze. And that's coming from a guy that likes Odunze.
I just don't think that's true. There was a period of time, like a 5-game sample of Odunze being
a 20
point per game receiver, which is better than anything. Burden had one
It was not this. It was not this, dude.
It was one game against the 49ers defense that Phillip Rivers lit up the week before.
He's been doing it for a month. He's coming off in the injury report and he drops 138. Even before that injury, he was doing good. Like
14 and 11 fantasy points is like sick production.
Also, you mentioned volume in the Ben Johnson offense. Caleb Williams in 16 games this year, 535 attempts. The 2024 Detroit Lions, which, by the way, I would argue that if Caleb Williams hits his ceiling, it looks even better than what Jared Goff currently is. And how many players were great in that offense?
Yeah, I mean, there was plenty of good. I guess maybe the answer is both. Like, both of them are going to be really great.
I think as soon as you take DJ Moore out of the equation, you're looking at each of those guys with, honestly, I mean, Rome, Loveland, Luther Burden, like that's one of the best big threes in football.
It is. I guess my only thing on this whole discussion is that we had an 8-game sample of Odunze being a wide receiver 1 for fantasy, and then he started to deal with injuries, and then he sort of tapered off. And to me, that's just a much stronger data point than what Burden has done these last couple games. And if it continues week 18 playoffs and whatnot, then obviously I could come around to him being in that territory of the Igbukas and the Tedero McMillans. I'm just not quite there yet. I would need to see it for a more sustained period of time.
Yeah, reasonable. Again, Rome Odunze was good. I'm not going to argue otherwise.
Yeah, I think that Ben Johnson kind of JMO type of idea was also is also on the right track as well. Like he's the JMO. He's the guy that gets the big plays. He's the more volatile one. Odunze is maybe the one that's more consistent from a fantasy perspective. Do we want to quickly run through the playoff scenarios before we get into a playoff best ball draft? Okay, so obviously, for those of you guys that are wondering, I think it's important to go through just from an NFL fandom standpoint. what happens in each of these divisions, because that's kind of what we're waiting to see in week 18. So before we do any playoff best ball drafts, we do want to kind of showcase this. Let's mark off the games that don't really matter really quick.
Rams are going to beat the Cardinals. I'm going to leave that one. Packers versus Vikings. Either way, the Packers are going to be the 7th seed. Let's
just go Vikings. I think the Packers might sit their starters. Bears and Lions.
Same thing. Bears still fighting between the 2 and the 3 seed. I think they're gonna have more. We could save that just because the Lions are a good team.
Yeah, let's save that one. Falcons probably beat the Saints. They're at home.
Sure. I can see the Cowboys trying to tank this, but I don't think you can out-tank a team that wants number 2 pick.
Yeah, that one has implications, but I think Philly will probably win that. Commanders are a dead team.
Josh Johnson.
Obviously, that game has implications. Kansas City versus Las Vegas. We could probably, honestly, I think that Vegas might low-key win that game. That has number 1 draft overall implications, because if Las Vegas wins that game, then they drop to the 2 pick or the 3 pick.
I'm just gonna give the Raiders a loss for spicy sanity.
Yeah, let's give the Raiders a loss. Broncos, Chargers are resting their starters, so the Broncos will probably get that and secure the number 1 seed most likely.
For now. The Colts are out, but I'm gonna leave that for a second. Bengals probably beating the Browns. The Browns have no motivation to win. But then again, they beat the Steelers last week.
And then the rest of these have implications, I believe, right?
Yes. Okay.
Let's start with the seeding implications, not the actual division ones. Texans probably take care of Riley Leonard and the Colts most likely. I think the Bills probably take care of Brady Cook and the Jets pretty easily there. Patriots probably take care of the Dolphins pretty easily as well. And then jumping over, Jacksonville probably takes care of Tennessee most likely, unless Jacksonville rests I think Jacksonville could rest their starters. It's possible that they do it.
So if they lose,
Texas, sorry, I guess they'd be scoreboard watching if Houston's winning. Then they need to win, kind of thing.
Yeah. Which actually, to be fair, if they lost, no, they can't fall to the 4 seed and they can't climb to the 2 seed. So, I mean, they can only climb the 2 seed if the Patriots lost, right?
Yeah. Okay. And then Bears probably beat the Lions most likely, I would imagine. I mean, that game could come down to it. Like, what happens if the Lions win that?
The Eagles go to the 2 seed, so I think the Bears are going to be playing their starters and playing hard.
They will be, but yeah, I think the Eagles getting the 2 seed would be a pretty significant development. Okay, so then the ones that are actually like 4 divisions straight up. San Fran's playing at a high level right now, but their defense is not.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that game will probably be pretty high scoring on Saturday night. I would imagine that San Fran takes care of business. I just think they're the better team.
Interesting wrinkle, which, by the way, I have to click that the Rams win tonight. Interesting wrinkle here. If the Seahawks win, it'd be Seahawks 1, Rams 5, 49ers 6. If the 49ers win, it would be 49ers 1, Rams 5, Seahawks 6. So
yeah, the Rams will be putting belt to ass on the NFC South champion no matter what.
Yeah, so this game is quite literally the difference between the 1 and the 6 seed, which is massive.
I guess unless they lose tonight. If they lose tonight, that wouldn't be the case. But they're going to win against the Falcons. Yeah, Tampa Bay versus Carolina, the Who Cares Bowl is what I'm going to name this, because neither of these teams are doing anything other than getting smoked by 2 touchdowns to the Rams on Wild Card Weekend. I do think Tampa will win the game, but I think we're going to get absolutely filleted in Wild Card Weekend.
So you know what's funny about this, by the way, is like you could make the case if you're Tampa, dude. If you lose this game,
we're going to be picking like 12th in the draft.
That's what I mean. You pick like 12th overall versus if you make the playoffs and then get dumpstered, you'd have to pick like 21st.
Yeah, no, it's not a good situation for us to win this game. Like. And not only that, but like if you win this game, you put up a fight against the Rams, then suddenly you're like, oh, do we keep Todd Bowles around? Do we I like Todd Bowles. I think Todd Bowles is a good coach. I think that a lot of unfortunate things have happened this season, but the reality of the situation is the players are not executing. The players look unprepared and the players are constantly having miscommunications, and that's a coaching problem. So if Todd Bowles gets fired, and honestly, if we don't make the playoffs, he's gone, in my opinion. But if we make the playoffs, I do think that the Glazers would maybe try and keep him around and scapegoat Josh Grizzard potentially, or, whatever they need to do.
05, 2014?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't think the Pope getting elected is going to get the Seahawks to the Super Bowl, because they're going to lose in the first round, as I've been saying for the longest time. Baltimore Ravens versus Steelers. I want to see Baltimore in the first round of the playoffs because I think they're the more exciting team. And for that reason, I think that Pittsburgh will win.
Yeah, on top of that, it would be so Pittsburgh losing the game to the Browns where they can clinch the AFC North and then just beating the Ravens anyways.
Yeah, well, and also we don't know for sure what's going on. Now, So the Tampa has to blow it up thing. Yes, we have to blow it up coaching staff wise, but Jason Light isn't going anywhere. And I think our roster is still very good. Like I think what happened in Chicago, what happened in Jacksonville, what happened in New England this year with the right coach higher in the offseason could happen in Tampa next year, because with a healthy team and, you know, if Evans returns and, you know, some of these guys, then you should be ready to go with a good roster. It's just the coaching is this, you know, how many times I've fucking
This
heard
is hilarious, by the
there's
way.
a miscommunication on our defense in Todd Bowles' history. Again, you can call me crazy. I still think we have a top 3 to 5 roster in the conference. I still do.
Come on, Corey.
Let's talk about Pro Bowlers on the Bucks roster. There's plenty of them.
How about let's talk about the playoffs?
I have a ring in the last 5 years. What do you have?
Brother, are you paying attention? We're literally on playoff predictors.
Yeah,
Get with the
we're
program.
going to get smoked. I know that.
Yeah, let's talk about the
coaching
playoffs.
Staff is fucking shit.
Okay, let's talk about the playoffs. What do we think is going to happen?
Oh, we were actually predicting. I thought we were just doing this for week 18 so we could do some drafts.
Well, we could do this so we could see what the matchups are and kind of think how we would play through them.
Okay, well, like maybe put this off to the side, though. Do we need to like predict who's winning? I think it's just more beneficial to see what the matchups will look like.
Oh, fair. Okay, yeah. I can have this here. Rams versus Buccaneers in the first round. Seahawks versus Eagles. Packers versus Bears. Obviously, all the teams on the right are the home teams in that instance. Steelers would be hosting the Texans, which if you're, you know, Texans pilled, you're obviously going to be very happy with that outcome. Jaguars going up against the Bills. We're going to be on the opposite sides of that. And I'm assuming you're also Patriots over Chargers, but like I'm not 100%.
Patriots over Chargers, I would still go pay. I think the Chargers really showed their big weakness against the Texans, man. Like you get a good pass rush against that team, and it's just they're going to fold like a cheap suit.
So let's just say like this is the outcome here, and then we would be contentious with the Bills and Jags. I think
the Bills would win that game.
I would be all Jags. The difference would be if the Bills won, they would go on the road to Denver. If the Jaguars won, they would be going on the road to Foxborough. So keep this in mind. This is what the potential second rounds could look like. We could pretty much fire a draft now.
Yeah, that San Francisco New England team that we have is looking real nice that we drafted. However, it's very good that we took both quarterbacks, because I think it's definitely within the range of outcomes and likely and favored to be San Francisco on bye.
Yeah. Hear me out. Actually, never mind. Not hear me out, because it's almost bound to happen either way. That if the Seahawks be the 1 seed, that's probably best case scenario.
Yeah,
because
best case scenario is San Francisco's the 5 seed for us for sure, because we don't want. I would say it would be like there's pros and cons to it. Pro, we have all 10 players live for the first round. Con, we built out a very unique, nutted Patriots and 49ers Super Bowl. And if we could advance it out of the first round, it would be insanely unique.
Those are both good offenses too, which is nice to be invested in.
And it would be a 5x5 Super Bowl if we had it live. But the problem is it's nearly impossible to advance a 5-stack nutted in the first round of all the same team. Unless you get the Patriots ripping up.
We're one-offs on that team, though. We had some decent one-offs, I thought.
No, it's Spicy. Go to that team for a second. I'm pretty sure it's a 5x5, isn't it?
No, I thought we had.
Did we pick a one-off or two?
I thought we did. I'm not 100% sure. We'll see in a second.
I feel like we picked a 5x5 Patriots and 49ers.
Oh, we must have been.
Yeah, it's a 5.
No, we got DJ Moore.
DJ Moore is our only one off there.
Yo, that's a nice.
49ers are on bye. If the 49ers are on bye, we would need a Drake May, Trevion Henderson, Stephon Diggs, DJ Moore, Kayshon Boutte nutted first round performance. But again, if the 49ers get a bye, the majority of the teams drafting in the gauntlet are going to have to take 49ers really high, because if they have a bye, they're going to go in the top, like Kittle's going to go in the top 12. Jennings is going to go in the top 20.
That team's unique as hell.
Super late.
But that team's unique as hell.
Yeah, it's very unique. So
nobody's going to end up with a team like that.
No, in both, like it's more likely that they would be in the Super Bowl against each other if the 49ers get the 1 seed, but it's also harder to advance in that situation. So we're kind of in good shape either way. If the 49ers don't get the 1 seed, all 10 players are live for round 1. If they do get the 1 seed and we nut out in the first round, that would be huge. Okay, let's do a gauntlet here.
Yes, sir.
And as always, if you guys want to join us in this draft or in these drafts, you can head to the link in the description. It says come draft with us. You can sign up using our promo code, and you go to the main lobby there and enter a gauntlet draft with us. Basically, I saw somebody ask earlier in the chat, like, what is playoff best ball? Essentially, it's a 10-man roster of fantasy football. It's a 1 quarterback, 1 running back, 2 wide receiver / tight ends, and 1 flex. So generally you go 1 or 2 quarterbacks, 2 to 3 running backs, 5+ wide receivers and tight ends, just roster construction wise. And the challenging part and the strategic part of playoff best ball, and honestly, why I actually like it more than season long best ball, I think it's more strategic and more fun, is that you're both trying to predict who makes the Super Bowl and also trying to get fantasy points along the way. Because like the one thing that I find unappealing about like the Texans, for example, is they could make the Super Bowl, but are they scoring a lot of fantasy points en route to that? Or are they winning a bunch of games 16-13? Like, you need to find, like, if that ends up happening, you need to find ways to advance Houston Texans teams. And when you get to, like, I made the gauntlet final 2 years ago. When you get there, you look at the like 50 people left or the 100 people left or however many people are left in this contest specifically. I can't remember. And you look and you're like, that guy only has 3 players. That guy only has 4 players. That guy only has 6 players. Like, I think I had 5 or 6 players live in the gauntlet final when I made it, but it's really insane when you're able to get a team to the final with like 6, 7, 8, 9 players alive.
Yeah. Hopefully this year for me.
All right. So we are looking at the 105 here. I'm still kind of remaining my teams are my teams in terms of the guys that I like going after. I am very pro Rams, 49ers, Eagles on the NFC side. Those are the 3 teams that I can see making a run to the Super Bowl.
I would swap Bears with the Eagles, but
I like the Bears, and I think they could make a run, and I'll definitely weave in some Bears builds and stuff. They're more of a secondary team to me as far as like what I want to get them as my primary stack. I'd rather get like
that's how I view Philly
stack.
I just don't believe in Philly like you do.
That's fair. I guess in the playoffs, I believe run game, defense, experience, coaching matters. And that's why I believe in Philly.
I just think their margin for error,
like, you know, that kind of stuff.
They need a game to fall a certain way. I don't see them winning a game 38-31 against a team like the Rams, let's just say.
No, probably not. But like, what if they never play the Rams until the
That's fair. Or 49ers too for that. Because 49ers could score on the
They're very unlikely to play those 2 teams. Like their path is pretty easy. They would have to knock off the Bears most likely and beat the Packers.
Yeah, well, they might play one of them in the first round, right?
They would play the Packers in the first round as it stands right now. If they get if they get Bears, the 2 seed, they would play the Packers. They would play the 49ers and or Rams or Seahawks.
I was going to say the Bears.
I think the 49ers are going to win on week 18, and that would mean they're playing the Seahawks in round 1.
Yeah, if you're pro Eagles, you're praying that the 49ers win that game against the Seahawks, because you would much rather play Seattle at home versus San Francisco.
Yeah, and I'm pretty anti-Seattle, so
I'm not drafting Seattle either.
Do you want to go? I personally, you're not going to get a lot of Eagles because you don't believe in them. So do you want to get unique here and try and get an Eagle? Because I'm sure you're. I just
don't think Saquon's a big enough scorer at this point.
I do. If they're playing the Seahawks in round 1 and like the
I like Kyron
in round 2.
I think Kyron scores you just as many points as Saquon, except he has a better chance to make the Super Bowl, in my opinion.
Sure. Yeah, we can go Kyron. I just figured you're not going to be drafting Eagles. So if you're going to get Eagles, you should be when you're with me.
Fair. Sorry. That's a good point, actually. I was just looking at the board. My bad.
Like I'm going to get my Jags and Texans exposure through you.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm assuming. What's the update on Adams? Let me take a look.
I'm a little nervous about him, to be honest.
I don't disagree, but like theoretically, if they were to make the Super Bowl, you would be thinking that he's healthy, right?
Yeah, I'd be thinking that. What are your thoughts on bypassing Adams here and taking ETN instead, or James Cook? Actually, I'd probably prefer to take James Cook, but if you want to go, I'm not going to get a lot of Jags exposure, so if you want to go ETN instead, I'd be down for it.
Spicy, you be the decider there. I'm cool with either. Obviously, Corey's more pro Bills. I'm pro Jags. Yeah, you be the median there.
Yeah, I think my thought process on the Bills as well is, like I said, but the inverse for the Texans. How do the Bills get to the Super Bowl? It's James Cook and Josh Allen. Like, they're the pieces you need. They're impossible to advance without.
I guess the counter I would also have is that in case we missed out on Stafford, at least Trevor Lawrence is a very good fallback. But
we may have to build out a secondary NFC or AFC stack depending on if Stafford goes to us or not. Because if we don't get Stafford, we might
this guy's got Puka.
A challenging spot. He's going to take him. So
okay, so we're going to probably have to figure out a second stack here.
I'd be cool. I think that I've said this on a couple different occasions so far. I'm very he went with Collins. Okay. He's gonna probably take Stafford here, I would imagine.
He could wait though and go Stroud.
Yeah, no, he went with Stafford. Arthur's in here with a 2 running back build as well. I think we should take one of these 2 quarterbacks, whoever falls to us, and build them out as our secondary.
Yeah, because what is the likelihood of Buffalo playing New England until the
if Buffalo gets the 7 seed, extremely likely. But if Buffalo doesn't get the 7 seed, which I don't think they will because the Chargers are resting their starters this week, then unlikely. Because the Bills, if they win, would play the Broncos in the second round, not the Patriots.
Yeah, that's actually massive. Okay.
Yeah. So
I would prefer to go New England then.
Yeah, we could go New England. I think New England's got better secondaries. I will say, like, either way, we're probably going to go Drake May Diggs or Jalen Hurts Smith in either case here.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter with me. I think Drake he's playing hot right now. And again, How do the Patriots get there? How do the Patriots get to the Super Bowl? It's probably because Drake May's playing his ass off.
Yeah, it's like if the Eagles got there, like you could have a legitimate 10-7 game that like knocks all the
that's
Eagles
why I suggested we take Barkley, is because if the Eagles get there, I think it will be Barkley catching fire.
Fair. I also think it's mostly just the defense would go on an all-time run.
This guy really took Diggs right after us. Did we just snipe him?
Let me see.
We might have sniped him.
He must have Henderson.
Yeah, he probably does. No, he just decided to take.
He also sniped
correlated min cash instead of taking Jalen Hurts.
Hope he enjoys watching his wife.
Yeah. What are your thoughts? I don't see anything that sticks out to me here.
We could pedal spike weeks with Corum.
I don't want to do that. We have 2 running backs already. I think
like we don't really have
wise to take an advance rate piece at wide receiver because we're not in great shape at wide receiver, and I think that Devontae Smith makes sense because they're also.
I like Jawan. Oh, they could be the 1 seed.
They could be the 1 seed, and I think we need the advance rate piece, and also the Rams and Eagles would very unlikely reach. They're not going to play each other until the NFC Championship. So
I can capitulate. Trevor Lawrence is way too cheap, by the way. I'm sorry. He's scoring like over 20 points per game in the last 6 weeks.
Jennings?
Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, Trevor Lawrence. Yeah,
so
Trevor.
Cheap.
I mean, people don't believe in the Jaguars. That's what it is.
I get that, but like even still, even some of the other like tell me what's the difference between him and Hurts?
Not really much of a difference from a fantasy perspective. I mean, I guess the difference would be that you believe.
I just think the Jaguars are a better
likelihood to go to the Super Bowl because they've done it already.
I think the Jaguars are a better version of the Eagles right now.
I just don't think that's true. I think you got
a better quarterback
playoff team that has plenty of experience. I think the Jaguars and Bears are going to have similar fates to me, which is that they have very inspired playoff performances in the young careers of their rookie head coaches. I think
Trevor Lawrence ready to win.
If they go on an NFC title run, good on them. Great. I just don't think that I would pick that. But I'll mix
AJ,
it in,
none obviously. Of this. AJ, none of this. It's like a fucking 60-40 projection. We're not doing that. This guy's such an asshole.
Okay, so we
Jared,
have.
What are you talking about, Jared? What are you talking about? Explain yourself.
For each case here.
Why are you typing?
We need to focus here, Danny.
No, but like, why is he typing like that?
Okay.
What's up with you?
We have our one-off of James Cook / Kyron / Smith. We can go in any direction with our primary stacks here. The only thing is that one of them has to be Drake May and the Patriots. So do we want to play it through probably take Hunter Henry here?
Yeah, we have 4 one-offs. We need a correlator.
We need a correlator, and we have to stack Patriots. So let's take Hunter Henry.
Yeah. Honestly, probably Ramondre too.
Yeah, that would be a good idea as well. I guess the only question we have to answer is, do we go more Rams or more Eagles?
Jared, I promise you, watching the games that Trevor Lawrence has played would do you a long way if you still think he's awful.
Again,
go ahead.
I will say, Danny, like we got 50 games of Trevor Lawrence before this.
Okay. The current one that we're watching right now has the Jaguars at 12-4 with one of the most hot offenses in the league in the last 6 games. We have to take credit where credit's due here.
Credit where credit's due for a month of good football. Yeah, like plenty of quarterbacks have played a month of good football.
I get that. The Jaguars are arguably the best team in the NFL right now.
I just don't think that's true. I think they're a good team, and they're definitely capable of going on a run. I don't think they're one of the best teams in football, though.
Agree to disagree, but that's fine.
Okay. Do we want to take Stevenson here? Or are we too heavy on the running backs right now?
We could end it off on Stevenson, and it would basically open us up to stacking
What do
whatever
we take?
NFC
We'd have to
want.
take a one-off Shakir as like our other. Like we have nothing else available here.
I don't know. What do you think?
There's nothing that correlates here. We either take
need to make a
Shakir or
Super Bowl,
Kincaid,
no?
or we take Stevenson here.
I think Stevenson, because we need to form a Super Bowl.
We do, yeah. It's just that like we don't have any receivers. Like we need to start 2 upwards of 3 of them every week. So we're gonna really need to hammer backdoor booty and stuff like that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. Who are we rooting for in the playoffs? Let's just say Carolina made it, because obviously if Tampa makes it, your answer is Tampa. Who are you rooting for?
Yeah, obviously Tampa would be the answer for me. I want to see Buffalo win a Super Bowl, so I would love to root for the Buffalo Bills on the AFC side. I think that both Buffalo and New England to me would be my 1 and 2 like teams I would like to. Not that I would like to see the Patriots win the Super Bowl because that sounds weird, but I like to see Drake May win the Super Bowl. And on the NFC side, I would like to see Stafford go out on top. I think he could retire after the year. And I would also like to see George Kittle win a Super Bowl and Purdy win a Super Bowl and stuff. So I think San Fran, Los Angeles would be my teams that I would want to see win the Super Bowl if I was cheering for a non-Bucks NFC team.
Fuck no, Dylan. You won't catch me dead rooting for the 49ers or the Eagles in the playoffs. I think the 49ers are a good team. I'll give them credit, but
refine our game plan here.
I ain't rooting for fucking 49ers or Eagles. Outside of that, Patriots, just because I love Drake May, I would like to see him do well. Buffalo, obviously, because they're so nearby and Josh Allen's a god. Apparently, I'm just going to be a Jaguars Texans guy just based off my takes on them. Like, I think they're just very good teams. So I would almost feel vindicated if they won. NFC wise, I agree with your take on the Rams of Stafford. It would be nice seeing them go out well. I don't know, the story of the Bears after being cursed for so long. If they won the Super Bowl, that'd be insane.
Yeah, that would be fun to watch. I don't think it's going to happen, but I think it would be fun to watch if it did.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Okay, we can't probably deviate anymore. We probably got to stick to our primaries.
Parkinson's interesting for us.
Yeah. So my take is that I would prefer Ferguson later, but if you want to go with Parkinson, I can't imagine I'm going to get many shares of the guy. So,
yeah, we need a stacking partner.
We'll go with Parkinson.
Who's saying we can't go Ferguson later?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on doing a 5x2x2? So we do 5 Patriots and then 2 Rams and 2 Eagles, so that we have 2 opportunities available for us.
I agree with Mumfield too. Now you won't catch Corey dead taking Mumfield because I've had the Mumfield talk with him before.
No, it's an Xavier Smith angle. That's what I've been saying.
Oh no, it's Mumfield over Smith all day. We're team Mumfield.
Do we want to take Booty or Kyle Williams here?
Yeah, we could. I like Kyle probably. It's only a concussion actually. It's probably Booty's a smarter pick, right?
Yeah, let's go with Booty. He's more consistent.
Yeah.
More consistently on the field, I should say. And I think Dotson is I'm locked into that being the final Eagle that we take. I don't really see anything else that appeals to me. It's got to be a receiver. It can't be Bigsby because we already have 3 running backs.
Yeah.
And there's nothing else interesting. So
what about
probably Dotson there. Plus Dotson's live to catch 70-yard touchdown in the Super Bowl.
What about your boy Britton Covey?
Britton Covey, the GOAT.
Remember when he retweeted you on like some random metric?
He DM'd
mentioned him. Oh, he DM'd you?
Yeah, he DM'd me and he asked me. I can literally read the conversation. He asked me how he ranked in a particular metric that I tweeted out, because I always tweet out shit during the draft season about like, this metric and blah blah blah. And he asked me, he's like, "Where do I rank in that?" Which was the weirdest tweet I've ever seen, or the weirdest conversation I've had from an athlete in the fucking.
That's epic.
Yeah, he goes, "Hey Corey, random question. I came across your tweet about tackles avoided after the catch. Pretty cool metric. Was wondering if they had a number on me." And then I was like, okay, anyways, we're on the clock here. Do we want to go Kyle too, or do you want to grab? It's got to be a Patriot if we grab another. Let's grab Kyle Williams. I think he's the best Patriot available.
Okay.
Like, who else is available for Mac Hollins? Do we go Mac Hollins or Kyle Williams or Demario Douglas?
Mac Hollins is interesting, actually.
More interesting than Kyle Williams, though?
When he plays ahead of him when he's healthy, but like the abdomen. If you want to take Kyle Williams because the abdomen.
Let's go Mac Hollins. He does play ahead of him when he's healthy.
Okay.
last second swap.
Yo,
From
Spicy's a G. Holy shit.
Okay, and then Dotson's got to be our last pick, I think.
Oh, he's on IR?
Unless you want to commit fully to a Rams Patriots.
Dude. I completely forgot that he got placed on IR.
Well, he might be back for late in the playoffs.
Yeah, so it's a 4-week IR, so you'd have to be back for the AFC Championship. Dude, I'm an idiot. Yeah. That's on me.
That's a bit of a throw. I forgot about that too.
It's the time pressure. As soon as I saw the name, I'm like, wait, why is he so low? And I'm like, he should be higher. And then I'm like, oh yeah, shit, he's got fucking IR. Yeah, that's on us. That's on me specifically. I should have fucking I knew he was on IR and I realized it after the fact.
I did not know. I forgot. So let's go with Dotson with the last one. Worst case, I mean, we have maybe he's live. Maybe he's the guy you need in the Super Bowl.
Activate him. Super Bowl. Yeah, that's on us, but that's fine.
Imagine, Danny, if he's the guy you needed in the Super Bowl. He has the Juwan Jennings game of the Super Bowl a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that'd be epic.
That's horrific.
Do we have Mumfield available?
No, we got to go with an Eagle if we want to do the 5x2x2.
Fair enough.
With the one-off Smitty. I like the structure of this. Like, again, lots of people are gonna push going 5x5s, like get as many players as you possibly can to the Super Bowl. That's your plan. That's the ticket. I am okay sacrificing a player or two on the way as long as I can get through. Because in my experience, it is much harder to advance to the Super Bowl than it is to get 5x5. Like, again, maybe you're just like, I just want to get lucky and have pod luck and get there. Fair. But I'll take 7 or 8 players live to the Super Bowl all day.
Also, Michigan running back coach Tony Alford is being retained by Kyle Whittingham.
Yeah, no one asked. Arthur said he wants us to rate his team.
Let's take a look.
Let's get a quick look at it. Imagine if Gabe Davis is the guy you need.
That's epic.
No one would have thought that Juwan Jennings was the guy that you needed. No one would have thought that Kadarius Toney was the guy that you needed the one year. No one would have thought that Mecole Hardman was the guy that you needed last year. Like, that was the guy you needed, if you remember. Mecole Hardman was the guy who snapped last year in the Super Bowl. Bo Nix, Caleb Williams, McCaffrey, Henderson, Kittle, Sutton, Franklin. I mean, the one worry here for you, Arthur, would be that you're going to be without a full starting lineup if the 49ers and Broncos both secure a bye. You're only going to have 4 players live. You'd only have Caleb, Henderson, Moore, and Burden, which you could. There was one league last year, my Big Mitten, where I advanced a four stack out of the round 1 pod. And I only there was Purdy was my only quarterback. I advanced him with no other quarterback. Like, the 4 stack I advanced was not a quarterback, which was crazy. But that takes usually insane pod luck for sure. But yeah, if you're betting on the 49ers not to get a bye, that's definitely fair.
Yes, sir.
Do we want to do another gauntlet here? Or you want to?
Okay, let's do one more.
Yeah, let's do another.
Yeah, dude, I agree, Scribbles. I agree. That's the thing too. Like, they were always going to look better in the second half of the year when a complex offense like Liam Cohen is coming in and establishing everything.
Again, I'm not discrediting anything that's going on here. I'm
not saying you are.
No, what I'm discrediting is saying that Trevor Lawrence is fixed after 5 or 6 games when we have about 4.5 seasons before that.
All I'm saying is you're looking at the best football he's played in years. And I will say, like,
absolutely.
And the 2 years in the middle there, like, he was facing significant injuries. I'm willing to give that some merit. I do acknowledge that the quarterback himself was off. But I mean, you got an elite offensive coach. You have a guy that we know has always had the tools, and he's finally looking like the guy we thought he would be.
Yeah, no, he is. Like, again, I just think that's a little bit of an incongruent or inconsistent statement.
Sure. I just think it's fine
the guy that you thought he would be means that you're kind of factoring in the caliber of prospect that Trevor Lawrence was to this conversation, which to me would also then apply to Marvin Harrison Jr. and you're low on him.
Which is fair. I'm just saying, like, in a conference, in my opinion, without a clear favorite in the AFC, I think it's perfectly fine hitching your wagon to a talented quarterback with a top 5 defense and a top 5 coach, which is what I think Liam Cohen is.
Yeah, like it's undeniable that he's playing the best football of his career. I guess my question is the best football of his career a top 10 NFL quarterback, or is he just
He's in that range.
Or is he doing the thing that like Jared Goff can do, or Kirk Cousins can do, or even Tua Tagovailoa could do at times, where like they'll go on these runs, they'll have chained together a bunch of really good games.
It looks different than those guys. He's just doing a lot more from a creation perspective than any of those guys can do.
I guess, yeah. I'm not willing to say that he's a top 15 or top 10 quarterback in the NFL. I could say he's
which is reasonable.
Top 15 quarterback. Like, again, if we ranked the starting quarterbacks in the playoffs, well, I would imagine he's going to be bottom 3 to 5.
Okay, let's map it out. Stafford over him, Allen over him. Those are the 2 guarantees.
Drake May over him.
Drake May, that's 3.
Justin Herbert,
4.
I
would say Brock Purdy over him. The way
Purdy's playing over him. I'm
not taking Jalen Hurts.
I would take Brock Purdy over him pretty easily.
I'll give you Purdy.
Jordan, I would take over him as well.
I don't know how healthy Jordan is, but I'll give you that when he's healthy.
I think Caleb Williams is a better quarterback than Trevor Lawrence at this point, because Caleb's getting better too, but Caleb is much younger and still has so much more to grow.
Caleb's fine. I think
into the playoffs, he's better.
The way Lamar's been playing, I can't give you that right now.
The only
he's a top 7 quarterback
is that Trevor Lawrence is playing better football. Not that he's a better quarterback, but he's playing better football. Because I think you can argue that Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, these guys are all in the same tier as Trevor Lawrence. It's just that Trevor is playing consistently better football than Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, but like again, I think CJ Stroud and Bo Nix are both better quarterbacks than Trevor Lawrence. Arguable, but I think that I would rank them higher.
There's no way I'm ranking Brock Purdy. Sorry, Brock Purdy. I'll give him that. He's been playing well.
Lawrence is the third worst quarterback in the playoffs, in my opinion.
There's no way Bo Nix is better than Trevor Lawrence.
Again, that's fair. I disagree.
I agree to disagree. Brock Purdy, I think, is totally real. Like, honestly, Brock Purdy's been playing at a very high level.
Yeah.
I will give Brock Purdy his flowers. The way he's been playing since he came back, now he looks healthy.
So you think he's about a middle of the road quarterback in the playoffs? I think he's more of a bottom 5 quarterback in the playoffs.
The only ones I can confidently say like are for sure over him, in my opinion, would be 3. It would be Allen, it would be Stafford, it would be May. Outside of that, I think you can make the case for him being the head of the next group, and I would argue at the very minimum he'd be in the middle portion of the next group for me.
Yeah, that's fair. I would say,
I think Lawrence is better than Stroud right now.
Purdy, Stroud, Herbert, those guys are just better than him. And Lamar, if he gets in.
I think Lawrence is playing much better football than Stroud right now, in my opinion, Brock.
Yeah. Okay. Barkley goes. Do we want to go back to the James Cook well?
You want to go Jags this time? We didn't get Jags last time.
We can go Jags. Do you want to go Kyron and ETN?
You want to go Rams again, or you want to go a different team?
I think getting our NFC player high would make sense.
I'm cool with that.
I mean, we could go Eagles if you want. We can go AJ here.
Could also go Kittle.
Yeah.
Your call. Do you want to go?
I think San Fran's going to get the bye, so I'm kind of waiting until the ADP shifts when they do to take my San Fran. If that makes any sense?
Yeah. No, that's fair. We could do that.
Kyron would be. I'd be cool going Kyron or AJ, whatever you want to go, Eagles or Rams here.
I just don't believe in the Eagles like you do. If we want to even out the account, because I'm not going to take much, we could go AJ Brown.
Let's go AJ, because I also think it's possible that that Hurts would fall back to us, and we could Hurts Devontae Smith double tap there, and then probably like I'm cool going 2 QB build on here as well. We could take both Hurts and Trevor Lawrence.
And I think that's a beautiful.
These teams are going to have a bye. I'd be cool building a 5x5 on this team.
And I think that's the beautiful part of Trevor in these contests as well. He's the quarterback 3 in fantasy this year.
Yeah, pretty insane.
Like when he's on the field, the production overall this year, yeah, sure, it's been volatile. Yeah, sure, it's a lot backloaded, but like he's on a heater and he's a 32nd overall ADP quarterback in a best ball format.
Dude, this is a massive year for the prospect model, by the way. Kyle Pitts, Javonte Williams, and Trevor Lawrence all breaking out is massive for the prospect model. The hit rates just got better just simply because these prospects that were highly decorated actually are hitting.
Lawrence has 9 rushing touchdowns, by the way. 9.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
He's got JJ McCarthy touchdowns.
Baker got JJ'd, I saw.
Oh, God. No, that's the worst.
He got the meme.
No. No, when your quarterback struggles and
When your quarterback gets the
shit.
JJ McCarthy 9 meme, it's wrap. It's a wrap. They
Yeah.
they did do it to Josh Allen though this week as well.
He was so shit, and then he just found a way to backdoor fantasy points. He's had
Yeah.
like 5 points all game, and then he
it'd be
finished with
nice.
like 24.
Nice
I'm like,
if
what?
that didn't happen because I would have a much better chance of beating Arthur tonight if that was the case. But
him doing that actually helped me in multiple championships.
I hope this guy doesn't have
appreciate the
Barkley and
100%.
takes Hurts here. Does Goods have Barkley, Spicy?
He's got 2 running backs. He definitely does.
He does. I'm worried. I think I'd rather him take Smith than Hurts.
We take Smith and then we take.
Actually,
Lawrence
I'd rather
if
him
he
take
takes
Hurts because then we could get Smith and Lawrence.
If he takes Hurts is what I'm saying though.
Yeah, he's gonna auto draft him for fuck's sakes.
Oh, what an asshole.
Okay,
Devontae Smith for sure, and then we wait on.
Do we push Trevor?
Yes, let's take.
We push Trevor and we take Jacoby Myers.
Where's BTJ's ADP?
Is he going after Myers?
He has to be, but like where?
34.1. Okay. Well, next turn we can get BTJ and Lawrence, assuming they fall
let's do
to
that.
us.
Let's do that.
Okay. Well, I feel good about the way we've got it built out. It's just we need to get Lawrence or we're fucked.
Oh, I hope Goog doesn't pay us back and take Lawrence.
Yeah. I mean, why would he take Lawrence? He doesn't have any correlation there.
People just like to cuck. That's what I've learned.
Yeah, it looks like we're not really in any threat to do that. I think we should be okay.
That guy's just vibing. That way, was that guy's team all NFC South or all NFC West? Like what? Yeah, he's got the all NFC West squad.
This
AFC West too.
Cash special,
dude. He is a West Coast fan. He is a fan of the West.
Guy's a pack. And so in the DMs with Britton Covey, he said, was wondering if they had a number on me. And I was like, don't usually get players seeing shit I tweet out. But PFF has you listed as 17.3%, 9 avoided tackles on 52 catches. That would rank you just behind Calvin Austin from Memphis and Justin Ross from Clemson as the 11th in the class. And he goes, oh, awesome. Thanks. Was just curious. I was like, no problem. Good luck in the draft process. And he goes, if you ever come across anything cool, let me know. Always trying to get my name out there a bit, as many folks don't watch West Coast football. And I'm like, yeah, I'm an East Coast guy. Can't say I was ripping too many Pac-12 after dark games, but will do, boss. And he goes, not even West Coast guys watch Pac-12 after dark.
Yo. Wait, he's a Super Bowl champion, isn't he?
Yeah. Had a DM combo with the Super Bowl champion.
Dude, he is built like you. You know that, right?
Yeah.
He's 5'8", $170.
Yeah, he's literally built like me, dude. Spirit animal. He still follows me.
Also, this is comedy. Thanks for putting me on this illegal streaming site. I saw it in a Flockley vid.
Oh, what I did when your tvpass.org, when I did like help your local fantasy creator afford a fucking NFL Game Pass subscription.
I just gave an illegal site such free pub just for getting whatever 70,000 views on the tvpass.org fucking ad in the corner of my screen.
So I think it was me that made that being like support. Like I made it like one of those Sarah Palin commercials, the fucking injured pets.
Yeah, it's fucking comedy.
Yeah, we go Trevor and BTJ here. No questions asked. Although it would have been nice to weave in one off Cortland Sutton there, but
I'm not even joking. By the way, Britton Covey might actually be Corey if he played football.
Yeah, dude, he is.
He's like, I'm just searching it on the side right now. I'm like, this guy looks like he should be in accounting.
Yeah, he kind of. I'm watching a video playing footy at some like US like thing. His hairline is looking pretty yikes. I can't lie.
March 18, 1997. So like, if you're Unk, he's Unker.
Yeah. Also, can we? Whoever's in the comments that thinks me and Nathan are the same people. Someone keeps going, Bush has the worst hairline. I'm like, brother, my hairline's impeccable.
I was gonna say, it's like you got one of the better hairlines in the fucking league.
I get a haircut like every 2.5 weeks, dude. Like my hair grows like fucking nobody's business.
The funniest is when people say, yeah, Danny only wears a bandana because his hairline is cooked. And then I showed my hairline, and then the people in the league were joking, like, yeah, he's actually got one of the better hairlines.
No, dude, it's Nathan. They're talking about Nathan. Because I remember at the beginning of the he timestamped it. So I went to it and he's like, Bush's hairline's terrible. And I'm like, this is literally Nathan. Like, what are you talking about?
Sorry, Arthur.
You could say a lot of things about me in the Flock League, but the one thing I will not stand for is you saying I have Nathan's hairline.
Yeah, Jesus.
What do you think of weaving in a DeAndre Swift one-off here?
We could.
We could go with a Stevenson one-off as well, but I think the point of this one-off is probably to get 2 games of good production. I think Stevenson's not really going to give us that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Okay.
We can go big Parker Wash too.
Yeah. Well, the other thing we could do,
we could literally go any other NFC
here,
team.
and we could take Caleb as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like we're not married to the Eagles too in the NFC because we have so many fucking Jaguars.
We have enough Jaguars to fill it out.
Yeah, let's do it.
What do you think? Do you want to push Washington and see if we can grab Caleb too?
Yeah, let's grab DJ Moore then. DeAndre Swift and DJ Moore, maybe.
Well, we're probably not going to get Caleb in that situation then.
Oh, okay. Your call. I'm cool.
I think it would probably be more beneficial to take Caleb, and then maybe we can sneak in Burden or Loveland later if we wanted to do that.
Let's do that then.
Or even Odunze, potentially.
I'm cool with that.
I don't know. I don't really want to get into the injury optimism stuff with playoff best ball because I've learned my lesson on that. Thinking that players are going to be back by certain games. Like, was it Montgomery 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Or last year that was like supposed to be back for the NFC Championship or something like that.
Yeah, and they got
it just doesn't seem worth it to like, and that's why I'm a little bit scared off of Adams right now. Is that like I just don't really want to mess with injured players.
If you remember, the Lions were 15-2 last year, and they were like the clear favorite in playoff best ball to go to the Super Bowl, and then they just laid an egg on their home field against Washington in the divisional round.
Yeah.
And I remember specifically, like, your guarantee was the Bucks were going to beat the Commanders, and like you hedged every single draft on the Bucks.
Oh yeah, I had the
second or third round.
None.
Oh my
none. I had not one draft that I took Commanders. Not one. Yeah, that hurt last year. The AFC side of things, I was basically only building out Bills Kansas City AFC Championship, so that really helped me. And my NFC team was Philly, so that helped me a lot. But I lost a lot of teams round 2 after the Commanders advanced, and all my Bucks were dead and stuff. That sucked.
This fucking guy AJ in our league chat too. My team put up a fight at least. GG's. It's a 65-35 equity split. We're not doing that.
Yeah. Speaking of close matchups, if anybody's curious, in the listener redraft league right now, I am currently up 12 points on Arthur, who's in the chat obviously, and in this draft currently on the clock. He has Bijan and Puka, and unfortunately for me, I've already lost in my home league. There's no way I can win. So I'm rooting on the downfall of Bijan and Puka tonight, even though I actually have them in my home league. And if they went for like a 90-point performance, I would win, but that's pretty much what it would take. So I'm up 12. I have Kyron. He has Bijan, Puka. It says 20% win equity. It feels less than that because Bijan and Puka are that good. But I also have Kyron on my Great Dane team. And I did the math and I used the week 17 calculator. If I get like a 20, 25 point game out of Kyron and Puka does his normal like 15 to 20, I actually could climb from 1250, which is 10th place in Great Dane right now, all the way up to like 6th or 5th place. Because not a lot of teams, like I'm the only one with Kyron. So Kyron is my leverage piece right now.
Off for you. I need Kyron in multiple championships as well.
Pretty easy. Moore and do we want to go Moore and Burden, or do we want to go Washington in one of them?
More, I like Moore and Burden, or more. Yeah, I like.
We want to just do let's just do the Bears Jags in the Super Bowl. Might as well.
Fuck it, we ball.
We have enough to fill out the Eagles Super Bowl, and we have the 2 best players on their team.
Yeah,
other than Barkley.
That's a fun ass team.
This is a good team. Yeah, this is a nice looking team.
We're gonna get some nice ADP value too, depending on what happens next week.
Yeah, we probably will.
I need Kyron. I need him in 2 dynasty leagues.
Yeah. Also, I just realized that we did have a site question, so I'm glad I had this pulled up here.
Dynasty, thank God.
So otherwise, Black Tie PGA had a dynasty 1 quarterback start 8 half PPR, no tight end premium question. He said, I need running back bad. I have 102 and 103 in 2026, plus 6 ones in 2027 and 3 ones in 2028. So again, 1, 2, and 1, 3. In a one quarterback league, Jeremiah's going 101 in most leagues, right?
Yeah.
I would say so. I would probably do my best to try and get Jeremiah. If you're trying to address your running back need, that would be the most logical way to do it, because Jeremiah, the second he enters the NFL, is going to be a top 5 dynasty running back. And this trade of you getting 101 plus Breece Hall for two of those mid to late ones and 102.
Dude, in this format, you could argue, because again, it's a start 8-12 team, one quarterback.
It's also a half PPR too.
102 plus one of those first is probably what Jeremiah loves worth. And then I would take Breece Hall over the other first.
Yeah. I think both Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall, like some of these free agent running backs, I think are going to gain quite a bit of value. Like, I also think that this may be a hot take because people love Byshell Tootin and I love Byshell Tootin, but I think Travis Etienne is going to get extended by the Jaguars for big money.
I would hate that.
I think he's going to get like 3 by 45 legit. Like, I think he's actually getting a big contract.
Yeah, I would hate that for my bags. I got a lot of Tootin.
I mean, my dynasty bags wouldn't like it, but I also have quite a bit of Etienne as well. So
my bad. Mumfield grown ass man catch. Did you see that?
I did. Yeah, I did just see that. But yeah, this, as far as this question and this trade, like, I think Black Tie, you're well set up to be able to address your running back need. And when you have this many assets, your running back need, quote unquote, should be made by somebody who is going to be a staple of your roster for a long time. And Jeremiah Love absolutely will be a staple of your roster for a long time, as will Breece Hall. Like, I think, depending on the price of most league to league kind of markets, I think Breece Hall might be the single biggest buy in all of dynasty fantasy football this year. Like, I think everybody knows it. So there's going to be leagues where he's going for like a mid first or whatever. But like, if the price is a late first market value wise, I will be buying Breece Hall absolutely everywhere that I have, especially teams like coming out of a rebuild, house money type of teams. Like, Breece is perfect for that because the dude's like 24 and a half years old, about to get a pretty sizable contract, either with the Jets, with an improved situation, or with a different team.
Well, even just straight up, like, trying to forecast the class, even in a super flex league, it would only be Mendoza and Moore that would have more value than him. It would only be the top 3 wide receivers that have more value than him, with Tate, with Tyson, and with Mekhi Lemon. And it would only be Jeremiah Love. So then at that point, it's like, if you can get him for 108 or cheaper, it's like, well, if you're looking at it across the board.
One quarterback draft too. You're talking 106 or cheaper.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to think, like, who even is, like, there's going to be a massive fall off, like, going into the tier 2 second half of the first round this year.
Yeah, like, depending on what the running back draft capital looks like, I could see scarcity pushing up. You know, Singleton Tesswell gets second round draft capital. Jonah Coleman gets good draft capital. Like, whoever it ends, maybe it's Jadarian Price even potentially, like, getting good draft capital. Like, whoever is RB2 off the board, it wouldn't shock me if they get pushed up. But it also wouldn't shock me if the class, people just go, oh yeah, this class is just good at receiver. So, you know, Chris Purcell or, you know, some of these guys get, you know, pushed into that like 104, 105, or sorry, wide receiver 4, wide receiver 5 conversation. And they're like the next guys off the board, or maybe even Sadiq if he gets like top 15 capital or something like that. But anyways, yeah, game is on. Good luck to everybody who needs something tonight. Again, I am personally rooting for a couple of things. I'll make it brief here. Kyren Williams at all costs. I need a huge game out of him. Need 12 more than Arthur in the listener league. Then he has Bijan and Puka. So I need Kyren to hold that gap, hold that defense for me. And I need Kyren Williams to help me climb in the Great Dane, as do I also need Puka Nacua. In Debbie Degeneracy, I'm currently down 3 points to Sexy Pats. I need 11 for somebody to crack my lineup. I have Terrence Ferguson on my roster, and I picked up Xavier Smith. So it's a Hail Mary, but it's possible. And then in Bush League Dynasty Best Ball, I basically need Bijan, Matthew Stafford, and Kyle Pitts to all fall off the face of the earth. But generally, I'm probably pretty screwed there unless I get a Darnell Mooney 2+ touchdown game, because he's my only defense at this point. I'm only up 8 points.
Pretty simple for me. I basically just need the combo of like Puka Nacua, Kyren Williams. I have Bijan in one league, but I'm playing him in another. So hopefully I can find the middle range there that wins me both. It's so weird when you have multiple championships and you have to root for someone and also root against someone in a different spot. Yeah. Luckily, in the one league, it looked like I was dead in the water. I ended up making a trade for Christian McCaffrey prior to last night. And then this morning, knowing that I needed to make up about 37 in a best ball format, I wanted to give myself another big chance to try to win. I already had Puka. I already had Bijan potentially going tonight to make up that 37 gap. But I thought that's not the greatest projection. Like, realistically, 37 points, even if my lineup, the 2 players they would need to replace is 10, you would basically need 18 or 19 above replacement from both those guys. So I make a deal. I told you, I don't know if I'm going to end up regretting it, and I might end up regretting it, but I traded away Lamar Jackson for Jalen Hurts and Matthew Stafford because I want to give myself a chance to win tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's decent insulation on it. Also, Arthur so if anybody's curious, if you watch my home league vlog, Lucas, the one who made the Aaron Hernandez joke, who took Christian McCaffrey in the first round, Trey McBride in the third round. Well, as you can imagine, after taking those two players, he did quite well. And not only did he beat me, he kind of took me out to the back of the woodshed and beat the shit out of me first. Because my team decided not to show up. Harold Fandon got hurt. T. Higgins did nothing. Tedderall McMillan did nothing. Kenneth Gainwell did nothing. The only person on my team that showed up was Amari and Hampton. Jalen Hurts did nothing. I have Bijan and Puka going right now. Unless they combine for 90 points, I'm definitely going to lose. So shout out to Lucas. I'm going to unfortunately come in second in my home redraft league. But it's 2 buy-ins, 500 bones to second place. So we'll take it. We're in the money. Unfortunately, did not win the championship, though. I did break the league record for most points in a single week last week, though. But that's kind of like Mason being on bye in the flock league and putting up the most points. So should have split. Yeah, literally, I should have split. But you know what? Mama ain't a bit, so I didn't split.
Hey, Corey, did you also see Mason
getting
lost
married this summer? We probably should have split just from like, hey, we need this to pay for our weddings type shit.
Mason, all right, fucking Corey. Mason lost the third place game to Sammy, meaning he still hasn't won a playoff game in the
Oh, did he actually? I didn't even notice that.
He has still not won a postseason game in the Flock League. He has the same amount of postseason wins as FSC, baby. Let's go.
I love it. I love every second of it. Mason won't get to say anything for the first 15 weeks of next year. Like he won't be able to talk shit about anything. I'm the king of the league. He's gonna pull like the regular season standings out week 3 after he's 2-1. Like we all know it's coming.
Bro, we already know the combined first 2 seasons record bid is gonna happen, and then all of us are gonna respond, "Yeah, Mason, you're the Dallas Cowboys." Like it was so funny because we were saying to him, we're like, "You still can't say anything. You haven't won a game in the playoffs," and he's like, "Oh, well, I've scored the most the last 2 weeks. Surely I'll win this year." And then
no, that's how it goes, man. I'm projected to drop 110 points. I dropped 205 last week, and I set the most points record in the league's history.
Yeah.
So that sucks. But anyways, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Good luck in your matchups. Peace out. We'll talk to you soon.